Okay, everyone, good morning. It's lovely to see you all. I'm very nervous, so you have to bear with me. And I'm not used to using this, but my printer said no. I'm a technophobe, so it printed half of my stuff off. But I am trying. So as it says, my name is Iris Benson. I'm a service user carer rep for Mersey NHS Mental Health Trust. As it says there, I'm a service user carer rep, expert by experience, peer associate, all of these, but actually I'm just a person, I'm just me. And I am just a person. Like many people with mental illness, we are people. And I'm fortunate to work with lots of other service users and carers and staff from our Mersey Mental Health Trust in Liverpool, who have supported and enabled me to be where I am today. I'm here with colleagues from our trust who are on my ongoing journey of recovery. As you listen to my history, you will realise that I'm not actually fully recovered and probably never will be. I haven't a problem with that now. I really did used to have a problem with that. As I'm talking to you now, I'm hearing three voices. I hear them all day and I hear them all night. And they're very derogatory and nasty. And I'm symptomatic all the time. I see and hear things that no one else can. And my mother follows me all the way, everywhere I go. And she's here today. But I'm not going to introduce her to you because she's not very nice. That's probably an understatement of the year. I believe that recovery is different for each person, and you can recover to a level that is safe and okay for you. I also believe that with the right help and support from the right people, have a meaningful and fulfilling life with mental health. The staff I work with treat me as an equal, or most of them do. They're learning. Oh, I've gone off. I'm a big believer in co-production. So what I'm doing today is being co-produced by me, my voices, the staff I work alongside. And it's a way of harnessing strengths of everyone. I believe everyone's got a gift. It's just that we need to bring it out to people and help them use those gifts. Our lived experience helps people to understand why we may behave in a certain way when we're unwell. I would like to at this point give you a clear warning about what I'm about to share with you. Because as someone mentioned before, there's lots of triggers for everyone, so feel free to leave the room if you need to. You need to look after yourself and I need to know that I'm looking after you too. So in brief, my history is of severe sexual, physical and mental torture. Was abused from the age of 4 till well into my teens by my mother and her many men and women friends, several times a day and during the night. No education, no ologies. In Liverpool, that means no exams. Okay, I haven't got any. I have just my lived experience. I'm not going to say just my lived experience because people like me have vast experiences of different ways of being having been treated. I've lots of diagnosis. And you can laugh because I don't mind you laughing. I'm not going to do anything strange if you laugh at me, it's okay. Although some people think I do, I'm going to. A bit naughty, really. So I've got lots of diagnosis. And if you think about it, if I abbreviated them all, put them on the CV, no one would know what the hell they meant with them. How good is that? And I've been given them and collected them off psychiatrists. I've been through a few psychiatrists. I hope there's none in the room, but anyway, there probably will be. I've been through a few of them during my time, and I collect them now. And I've got a big T-shirt, and it is a big T-shirt. Not only was I 23 stone on meds at one point, very unwell on meds, as you said. I have no hair under this. It's a wig, and I have great fun with this as well. My husband's always wanted a blonde next week. There we go. So the T-shirt I gave to one of our, someone that came to our trust from the government, and I asked him, it has all my diagnosis on, and on the bottom it's got, I'm just a person, I'm just me. And on the back it's got MAD, mad means making a difference. I've been called a lot worse, you can call me as mad as you want. I don't mind. And I did this T-shirt to challenge that stigma and judgments that I've suffered, and my family have suffered for many, many years. And I hope that I do make a difference for everyone that suffers because of the stigma of mental illness or any disability, or anyone that's different, and gives others an understanding of what trauma of abuse or any kind of trauma does to people and the devastating, destroying effects long term. So, why am I with you today? If we're not, for whatever reason, able to say what is happening to us and others, we can't enable change. I believe we have to change how we care and treat people, and above all, change how we use physical restraint. And there's lots of opinions about the use of restraint, but these are my views, and I listen to many others, other service users, other carers, staff, who have witnessed restraint, and they say similar things to us and to me. I say we need to do our utmost to stop this re-traumatising way of controlling and supposedly caring for people. My story is about being abused and controlled all of my life. I ended up through the mental health system for over 25 years because of the way I was brought up. I'm physically and severely damaged from a very early age. I was controlled to the extreme, hurt physically, sexually and mentally by the people who were meant to protect me and love me. And most of all, to keep me safe. My behaviour as I've grown up was extreme. And as I've grown older, when I'm acutely and extremely unwell, can be difficult and hard to manage. I believe this way, I believe it's this way because I was seriously damaged when I was little. I spoke a little bit about my diagnosis, which and still include, and I have a bit of fun with this, and I'm not laughing at anyone with mental illness, I'm laughing at me. I went out on a night out with my husband and met his colleagues, and I won't go again. But I don't think they'll want me back now. Because someone said to me, "Oh, you've got a mental illness, haven't you?" I said, "Oh, I have." "Oh, I have." I have a sort of funny sense of humour, very naughty at times. So she said, "Oh, which one? What one have you got?" Like as if you buy it off the shelf. You know. So I said, and this is my party piece, and these are only a few. Severe depression, OCD, personality disorder, paranoia, psychosis, severe self-harming behaviour, bipolar disorder, which was used to be manic depression, because you go manic when you're like that, paranoid schizophrenia, voices and probably some I've forgotten. She didn't speak to me for the rest of the night. And was I chuffed? You know, if you can't use it, well, you know what I mean. So now I have a diagnosis that I believe fits me. It's called DID. Anyone in the room heard about DID? Yeah. Dissociated identity disorder. Over the years, I've had, as I say, various talking therapies, some of which have worked, some of which haven't. CBT didn't work for me because my self-harming behaviour kept me alive. I had to be punished. My voices say I had to be punished. My mother said I had to be punished, so I punished me. I've been fortunate never to ever hurt anyone else deliberately. I've had about 10 months of EMDR. Has anyone heard of that? Eye movement desensitization reprocessing. There you go. One of them just reminded me. Thanks for that. And it really helped. But all of them helped, and I really truly believe that that's the way to go. We need talking therapies. We need to say how we feel, what has damaged us, and get the help to try and do something about that so it doesn't destroy you and get to 58 like I am and just begin to get your life back. So when I become seriously unwell and need an admission into hospital for my own and others' safety, at this point, I really must stress I've never hurt anyone else deliberately. Only me. And at this time when I'm admitted through to this dissociated part of my illness, I'm very difficult to understand and will no longer be in your world, the one you live in. I will be in a world so scary and frightened beyond all comprehension. I know, as I speak, you'll be wondering about what I'm going to say. So before I read the first poem, I will at this time want to be in hospital. I will have had services that have encouraged me to go in hospital, told me why I need to go into hospital. I usually have a massive self-injury that needs treatment, but I can't see it, I can't feel it, and I don't know it's there, and it needs treatment. And people will work really hard with me to get me on the ward. But I was always told I was going to get put away into a children's home or put away by the police. The nasty policeman will put you away for telling naughty, bad lies. And what's happening? I'm getting put away. Don't go off. Someone's just twittered me. Don't do that. It's confusing. I've got enough going on in my head without someone twittering me. But at that time, I want to go home. I want to go home to my mum. Because when I'm with her, I know exactly what to do. I know, but I'm going to do this first, because then I want to set the scene. And this is really, it's distressing and it's sad. It's sad for me to read too. And these poems were written 18 years ago in my first therapy. I did some art therapy too. And it's where my head is when I'm coming onto your ward. Little girl doesn't want to be breathing anymore. Likes the feelings when she hears no more. Likes the darkness and the quiet. In a corner can't be found. Little girl in so much pain. Hearing bad things again and again. Trusting no one, everyone's bad. Wanting, hoping, someone will come. When will all this badness be done? So I'm not going to trust any of you, no matter how nice you are to me. I won't like you. So as I said before, I want to go home to my mother. Because there, I knew I would know exactly what to do, how to speak, when to speak, what to say, how to sit. I will do exactly as I'm told. My life depended on it. And I'm not exaggerating there. It did. I won't be able to look at you. Some people think that body language, because you can't look at someone, they're telling lies. If I looked at my mother, she would say, "What the F now are you looking at?" Excuse me. And I'd stop looking, and then she'd belt me, full on in the face. "Don't you ignore me, you look at me when I'm..." And I was totally confused. So I learned not to look, but to look, so that I got away with it. Children are very adept at managing things like that. So you can see where I'm coming from. So think about what I've been told over and over again. Think about what's happening to me. I truly believe that I've been put away. That's what I kept getting told. And I did get put away for a short while in a children's home. And that's been, not when I was there in the early, middle 60s, but that's one on the list where there's been abuse since then. Okay? It isn't now, it's a hotel. So when what has happened to me is the truth, and I've run off the ward, and this is an extreme experience, and I've had many. I tried to run off. I wanted to go home, and I was going to go home because I knew what I needed to do. I clearly remember, and this happened to me on one ward. 2 big male nurses caught me, and I'm only little without any shoes on, and I walk around without any shoes on, and I realised why I did that. Because I didn't have any shoes. And one day I was walking around on the ward and someone said really caringly, "I just go and put your shoes on." I said, "It's not my shoes that's the problem, it's my head. I'm not putting my shoes on." And then I realised, actually I didn't have any shoes. And if I'm dissociated, I won't go and find shoes. And they got me in locks outside. Those locks, they put your thumbs up your back and got me back on the ward. And I was still running. I was going nowhere, and I couldn't understand why I wasn't going anywhere. I was running for my life. I'm thinking, why am I getting anywhere? And when I looked down, my feet were off the floor. That hurts. I have really bad osteoporosis in my hands, and my thumbs dislocate. So if that happened to me now, I'd be in trouble. And I was then anyway. So when I'm in this terrified state, I truly, truly believe I'm going to die. I've been told I'm going to die. I will hear my mother in my head telling me, and the men too, they will be telling me in explicit detail how and where and what they're going to do to punish me for telling. It's usually the cemetery they took me to for that. And they did it on a regular basis so I wouldn't forget. Believe me, I wouldn't forget. So at this point, I want you to imagine a small child, okay, about this big. And when I'm in this state, I'm like that. I'm that child. I'm this big in my head. And at that moment, I can see you. I can see your mouth move. Can't hear you. I've gone. Too late. You can give me all the instructions in the world. I'm paralysed with fear. I can smell you, I can feel your weight, you're hurting me. I would probably have weed myself, 58 years old, but in my head I'm little. At that time, all I can see is your big hands holding my little hands down. I will do my best to get away from you, believe me. I'll fight you. I want to go home. That's all I ever said. And the staff that see me now, they used to say, you just used to get on it. I want to go home, let me out, I want to go home. So I'll bite you. I'll do anything that... Imagine a child trying to get away from you. They're going to bite, they're going to kick, they're going to scratch you, and even spit. And I hate the thought that I've ever done that to anyone. It's in my advance statement, which I'll talk about at the workshop. The night staff have been a bone of contention. You've got some really good night staff, and you've got some not nice night staff. And as you said before, sometimes I just want to drink. I don't sleep, so I've been tweeting in the middle of the night. Some people probably have noticed, because I have to keep busy in the night. I get 2.5, maybe 3 hours sleep a night. My mother kept me awake all the time as a form of control. Every time I fell asleep on a straight back chair, she'd poke me, prod me, throw water over me. You won't go to sleep until I say. And I don't sleep. It's learnt behaviour. It's something I can't change. When I talk about being dissociated, and I have that personality disorder diagnosis, oh God, for God's sake, don't go into A&E with that diagnosis. What does PD say? You're narcissistic, you're attention seeking, all those lovely negative things. And if you self-harm, in one of our hospitals, medical hospitals, I was told, go and sit over there, you've done that to yourself, and we've got sick people here. I've got a seriously, seriously ill son who goes into resource. I fully understand the need to prioritise. I was talking about before about night staff. I don't sleep. I don't want to be in a dorm full of women either. I'm scared to death of women. My mother abused me. I'm scared to death of men. They wouldn't put me in a men's dorm, but they put me in a women's dorm. Right? I can't handle that. So I lie awake waiting for one of them to come and hurt me. So I want to do something. What would I do at home? I get up and I bake. Okay, I can't bake on the ward. You know you're at risk if you go in the kitchen with someone like me, so don't do it. So I can't make cakes, but I could listen to my music. I love my music. I need to drown the voices out, so I listen to my music. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, yes, you can. I've got Bluetooth now, so I'm okay. I was 23 stone at one time on meds, right? And I was really ill. Those meds are disgusting. And I remember being put in, not in seclusion, but put on a one-to-one because I told the psychiatrist to have a go taking them and see how he liked them. And I was told I was hostile and aggressive, which I probably was actually when I think back. My psychiatrist now is brilliant, but we'll get on to him in a minute. Medication for me is a bone of contention as well. I can't take my meds. Doesn't mean I'm not compliant or, what is it, non-concordant? Can anyone, that's a new buzzword, yeah. I can't take my meds. My mother filled my mouth full of meds and washed them down with whiskey. And when she did that, I would vomit and she would push the vomit back in my mouth. You can try any type of pill you want. You can give me those ones that melt in your mouth. Just the thought of a pill going in my mouth and I can't take it. So then I'm a bad patient. Oh, she won't take her medication. Oh, yes, she will. Oh, no, I won't. What happens? I'm medicated. There are times, and I'm still on medication now. If I wasn't on medication now, I wouldn't cope. I would cope, but I'd be very manic and I'd do things to try and drown all this out, and that's not useful. So I'm not saying don't encourage people to take medication, but get the right medication for them. Have that conversation. So why am I so passionate about this? I think you can believe why I'm passionate, and I'm passionate. I drive people potty, and I don't mind that. Because I believe if we don't say what's wrong, we can't make it better. And I was asked if I would speak about my personal experience of being restrained and being controlled in this way. A little apprehensive at first. I do it quite a lot now, but I still get nervous. Remember, at this moment in time, I am being told in explicit detail what's going to happen to me when I go out of this building. And believe me, it's not nice. Again, another big understatement. So I attended our No Force First project group, and David had been to the States and we'd heard all about it. Okay. And I was asked really carefully and sensitively way to share with this group how I felt. It was also made clear that if I didn't want to get involved with it, that was absolutely fine. And that's what we need to remember when we're working with service users. Don't force them to do anything, because it'll bite you right back on the bum. We need to support staff and service users. We really do, to enable them to do what I can do today. And I've had a hell of a lot of support to do this. And when I realised that maybe if I shared some experience, it'd give people an understanding of why we need to stop this practice. This method of control actually damages people it's done to, because it causes massive re-experiencing. Because when I'm on, it matters not if you put me on my back or my front. I've been raped both ways. So you will just send me spinning back into that world, that frightening, terrifying world. So I think now you'll understand why I'm so passionate. And I'm not pleased. I can't say this strong enough. Yes, we do need to stop this, and I'll love it if we stop it altogether. But there are going to be times when I need to be restrained to save me from me, okay? Because they'll tell me what I've got to do to punish myself for speaking out. And I will do exactly as I'm told if I'm not well. If other things are happening to me and no one notices, if my life is chaotic and I'm not focused and driven, then I will become poorly, okay? So this is why I give you a clear warning, because it's not nice to hear. But if we don't hear and we don't feel it, we're not going to make that change. And it's not easy to change. And we recognise that it's hard. Change is hard for everyone. My life is full of changes and it's hard for me. It's frightening for me when my life changes. And I do things like this. It's frightening. And in Mersey Care, our dedicated team who work hard on our No Force First initiatives. And there are so many amazing initiatives which you're going to hear today, loads of them. They're all brilliant. You know, if we get them all together, well, then we're a big force to make this stop. So all the speakers today, you're going to get a wealth of ideas, but you've got to be driven. You've got to believe that we can do this, and we can. The proof, we're starting to prove it, and once people see the evidence, and you get them to stop saying, we can't do that. No, we've worked in this way for years. I'm doing a bit of acting now. My mother always said it was an actor. And you know what? We can change. We can stop this happening to people. We can, and we are doing it. And actually, staff, if you ask staff, do you want to restrain people? The ones that don't want to do it will say, actually, I don't want to do this, because it damn well hurts. And it actually kills. It kills people like me. And I've got all those things. I've got asthma. I've got serious arthritis. It would really hurt me. And my voices are telling me now, well, that's where you should be. You should be dead. And I actually think, well, actually, yeah, it might be good because I wouldn't have to think about this. But I won't be like that anymore, because we need to help this stop. So it matters to me, and I hope it matters to you. And it matters that we all work in that co-produced way. And we have lots of staff who have that power thing. Oh, she's a service user. Service user. She's got no brains, got no allergies. Well, yes, I have. I've got a knowledge in my life. I've got a PhD. Yeah. And if we do it this way, and we work together, we're going to make a massive, massive difference to people like me and your staff. They're going to want to go to work. And when they see the changes and when they see people like me being able to stand up here and do this, when I never, ever envisaged a life, I was told I would never amount to anything. So before, I just want to share just a few things to say. So where am I now? I'm here. Great. It's wonderful. And I'm part of the Restraint Reduction Network and the CPI, and I'm proud to be that. And I work alongside our staff all over Mersey Care. And I'm a service user lead, expert by experience on our No Force First team. I'm also a service user lead on our values-based recruitment, which is a bone of contention at times because, again, it's new, it's innovative, and people don't like change. Right? But we need to get the right staff with the right values in the right place at the right time doing the right job, caring for people. And throw it back at them if they don't want to do it. You just say to them, you know, if you had someone that you loved on one of your inpatient units or in the community, how would you want them to be treated? Is this acceptable? Would you like it? And if you say to me, oh, I wouldn't put a person of mine on this ward, well, we've got a big problem. We really have. Because if we can't accept that, as an organisation, we can put one of our own family, our people wouldn't nurse them unless it was a very strange circumstance. But if we can't admit that there's things going wrong, we can't put them right. So I do loads of things, and I'm proud to do them, and I'm passionate. And you will get people saying it can't be done. We haven't got the time. I hate that one. I haven't got the time. Well, you know what? I had a psychiatrist throw my advance statement on the floor once. I didn't know she was a psychiatrist. I just haven't got time to read that. On the floor it went. And I said, if you bothered your bottom to read that, then I wouldn't be bothering you and bothering everyone else, and you wouldn't be having to restrain me, because you'd be listening to what I need, when I need it, and what works and what doesn't. I work in our recovery college sometimes. I do engagement sessions on New Force First all over our trust. And when our staff hear narratives like mine, it makes them think. It hits home. So, I just want to say here, I'm so proud, and I don't share this with many. Dave does. But I told him not to put it up there. I told Ben not to put it up there. People like me can do things and can achieve things. And I was fortunate this year to get an MBE for services to mental health. And also I'm on the HSJ's patient leaders list. So I've got no allergies, but I've got them. So before I get, as one of our staff used to go like that, before I get that, I just want to say to you, I'm proud to be here today, and I'm going to be here over 2 days. So you need to ask any questions, feel free to come and ask me. We're doing a workshop this afternoon, which I'm going to promote, which is on our New Force First project. And I just want to say, recovery is a slow process, right? And it should never be forced or rushed. Those little steps to big victories. And as you've heard from me this morning, I'm big on co-production, co-delivery and co-design. And I believe if we all work together, it will enable change, challenge the stigma, and most of all, make a massive difference. And to end with, this is a poem that's ongoing. And when I'm having inpatient, I write a poem and another verse to this. And when I'm out, there is no verse. And I haven't had a verse for about 16 months, and I'm chuffed. It's called Memory Flower. Memory because it's my memories, and flower because my name's Iris. So memory flower is nearly all gone. Its petals falling one by one, and there are a few still hanging on, and I hope they fall and soon be gone. And then a new one I will grow, with petals so soft and white like snow. And when its petals start to fall, the memories will be ones of love and warmth, memories of a new life I will start living, with kindness and love and lots of giving. I appeared out of hospital, and this was the last verse. Memory flowers growing again, it's not pretty to see it again. I wanted the petals to fall to the ground. Gone forever, no more thoughts, hoping the petals will start falling again, so I can begin to forget the pain. Please bloom quickly so your petals will fall, taking with them my memories once more. Thanks for listening, and have a great 2 days.